Hey everybody, it's Justice for Comics. It is what day is it? It's Wednesday, new comic book day. So later this afternoon, I'll be doing another live stream highlighting the new books coming out the following Wednesday. So make sure you check that out later. I know most of you will watch this in replay. Is there a hotter artist right now than Morgan Wallen? I don't think there is. I think he's dominating the country and the pop charts. I think he's got like 3 out of the top 10, something like that. Crazy. He's actually coming to Tampa here in the next week. Impossible to get tickets, just like Taylor Swift. Sold out long time ago. I think you can get tickets on StubHub for like $1,200. I'm not going to spend that much though. I like him. I think he's a good artist, but I wouldn't spend that kind of money to go to a concert. I like his music, but I'm not a fanatic about anybody's music, I suppose. So let's jump into it. Let's take a look at CBSI's Hot 10 list here. This was from last Friday. I just had a busy weekend, really didn't have time to review it. So, hey, better late than never. I'll give you my opinion and hot take on the list. Let's go down to honorable mentions first. Good old Ben Stein here is giving us his take on these things. We got Mr. Mystery number 18. Bernard Bailey cover. It's kind of a weird looking cover. Guy's head is way too big for his body. A raw, very good to very good, sold for $2,600. The last 3.0 graded for $960 back in October. Man, I mean, this is a whole different game when it comes to comic book collecting. These older, these 10-cent 1940, 1950s pre-comic code books mainly. There's so many obscure ones, and there's all kinds of reasons why certain issues are worth money than others. It could just be a hot cover, a certain type of artist. Who knows? But it's a whole different realm of investing that I know very, very little of. But obviously, there's a lot of money to be made. That 3.0 graded that sold last October, you think that guy's smiling right now, knowing an ungraded raw copy went for $2,600? Basically, the guy's made at least 4 to 5 times his money on a 3.0. It's crazy. There's a lot of money chasing older comic books right now. I don't know how long it's going to last, but you don't want to be the last one buying. That's for sure. You want to be early in the cycle, not late in the cycle. So at some point, the cycle will end. I don't know, maybe later this year when the U.S. falls into recession. A lot of these comic books are probably going to get cheaper. So if you're thinking about buying older, more expensive books, my advice is to just wait a little while. Wait till maybe the end of this year. I do think that you're going to see a healthy pullback in just about everything collectible. I think everything's just way too expensive at the moment. The other one mentioned here is EverQuest, The Ruins of Kunark, number 1. What kind of name? What the hell? I guess it's a Jim Lee writing and art. Is that why this book's doing well? Some obscure Jim Lee book and no one cares about. 3 separate copies have sold the past few weeks for $300 or more. 9.8 copies sold in the past 20 years. I didn't even know about this book. Obviously, Jim Lee being associated with it is probably the main reason this book's doing well. I don't think there's any option news. I don't think there's anything going on with this book to indicate that there's any upcoming news that might drive the price. But Jim Lee, yeah. Obscure Jim Lee book that might have something to do with it. All right, number 10 on the list is 5 Color Comics number 1. Kind of a cool cover. You got the old Nazi symbol there. $350 to $380. Ben says an extremely difficult book to find and is definitely one of Tim's best covers. Tough to store as well as it is oversized. Everyone says that. Obviously it's a book. I have a lot of these black label books that are obviously magazine sized. They make my lights for them, and they make boxes that you can store either oversized comics or your CGC books. It's basically the same size box as you would be storing your CGC graded slabs or any of your graded slab books. They have boxes, so it's storing oversized books is not a problem. It's not difficult. It's just they're not going to be standard with all your other comic books. So some people don't like that, but some people have long boxes, some people have short boxes, and then you're gonna in your collection, you should have some oversized boxes that store magazines or slabs. That's my opinion on that. So don't let that be a deterrent to you collecting a cover that you like or a book that you are particularly interested in. Number 9 is Ambassadors #1, Frank Miller production, Frank Quitely. They've done a lot of books together. Jupiter Rising, was that the last one that they worked on together? I don't know. They've done a bunch of them. 15 to 20 bucks, up from $6. This is a spec play, and from what I've seen in the past from Miller and Properties, this is just not a good play. Yeah, Miller is a good writer. I mean, I love some of the stuff he's done. I mean, some of the best comic books I've read have been Mark Miller written books. What's some of the old ones? What's that one I'm thinking they made into a movie about the all the criminals? I can't remember the name of that. Damn it. He's written some good books though. Yeah, I liked his writing on some of the Marvel books that he did back in the day. But he sold to Netflix. Yeah, obviously, he's got a nice big fat bank account. He doesn't need to work as hard as probably other writers do. He's got loads and loads of money. That Netflix deal keeps paying him dividends, and it doesn't even have. He obviously doesn't even have to have a successful property. That Jupiter thing that he came out with, they made one season and it didn't do very well. So, yeah, he's not very bankable as far as any project turning out to be successful. But yeah, give it a try. I mean, it's usually a decent read. Sometimes it's decent. That Magic Order, I thought that was a decent read. The first series, I didn't even bother collecting the second series, but yeah, sometimes he's decent. Number 8 is Amazing Spider-Man #15. I think this is the first appearance of Kraven the Hunter. 2 to 3 weeks ago, they were hitting yearly lows, and then the Kraven stuff from CinemaCon hit, and it popped right back up to last summer's prices. Obviously, they've cast the actor for the Kraven. I can't remember the bloke's name. He's a English guy. He was in that Brad Pitt, that Bullet Train movie. In fact, I think he's going to be the next James Bond, is what I also heard. So yeah, he's up and coming actor. He's been around for a while. He's been in a bunch of projects over the years, but seems to be a good actor. I think he'll probably do a good job on Kraven. And yeah, that's obviously a major key to have in your collection. It's not going to be cheap to buy for certain, but always a good one to look for and be on the hunt for. Number 7 is Amazing Spider-Man #41. Got a lot of Amazing Spider-Man books so far on the list. First appearance of Rhino, first cover appearance. He's supposedly going to be in the Kraven movie as well. 8.0 just sold for $1,400. A 6.0 sells for around $650. This book has been relatively cheap over the years. You could get fairly high grades for not too much money. It does have part of the cover is white, and you got dark corners. So yeah, it's condition sensitive. Not the easiest to find in 9.0 or higher, but obviously a classic book. First appearance of a major villain in the Spider-Man universe. Number 6 is Static #1. Static is the new Static series with DC has been doing pretty well. James Gunn also stated that Static will definitely be in the MCU. Temper your expectations, though, as this is likely a minimum of 3 years out. So, sometimes it's good to plan ahead. You buy a book. I wouldn't buy it right now at crazy prices that are probably happening this week because of this listing. Right now 9/8s are back up to 220. Maybe wait for this summer. Maybe there'll be a little lull in prices. Like I said, later in the year, I think we're going to go into recession. So I would imagine most things comic book related, collectible related will drop in price. So don't be too anxious to buy something right now, is my opinion. Number 5 is Spider-Gwen, number 24. This is the J. Scott Campbell Gwenom variant C, $250 raw book, 9/8 sell for $530. Yes, there is a healthy collecting base of J. Scott Campbell fans out there that look for these covers that have fairly low print runs. 2017, yeah. I think this was an exclusive cover as well, which of course people always say, oh, exclusives, they're never worth any money. Obviously, that's not always true. It just depends. It always just depends. If anybody says something as an absolute, just always respond to them. It just depends. That'll drive them crazy. I love arguing with people that always think that something is an absolute, right? Yeah. Just tell them, hey, it depends. All right, number 4 is Yoda number 6, the Takashi Okazaki 1/25 variant. Yeah, this cover's awesome. I grabbed one for I think $40 shipped. So unfortunately I didn't get it for 25 near ratio. That was a hard book to find in pre-orders. I did not see a lot of websites selling it, and obviously it shouldn't be a surprise that it's selling $90 to $100 right now. That was just a book that a lot of shops didn't have. I don't know, none of the shops near me had it. A lot of the online stores that usually you would find this book didn't have it. So yeah, it was not plentiful, especially on pre-orders. And the price is reflecting that, $90 to $100 right now. And it's a cool cover. I like it. I like all of that Okazaki stuff. I mean, he's got some awesome covers. Number 3 is She-Hulk. Number 12, the Ji-Hung Lee 1/100 Virgin variant. I did get one of these in pre-order. I should have it pretty soon from Things from Another World. I paid $100 right at ratio. I didn't see anywhere where you could get it below that. So sometimes these 1/100s are good bets. Sometimes they're not. I mean, a lot of times they're not. A lot of times you spend $100 and then you'll see it on eBay several months later for $70, $65, $70. I mean, that kind of stings when that happens. I mean, that happens quite often. But if you got a cover that just people really, really like this one, then the price goes up, and right now $175 to $200 range. Ben says having the trade dress version hurts this book long term, though. Maybe a little bit. I mean, I think people, yeah, for that casual collector that says, "Oh, I just like the cover. I'm going to buy the trade dress." But for the hardcore collector, they would much rather have the lot lower print run 1/100 cover. That I don't really think long term it hurts the value at all. In fact, I think what it does is it increases the value. So I'll disagree with Ben there on that statement. Number 2 on the list is Strange Academy Finals. Number 6, the Scotty Young 1/25 variant. I posted that on my IG a few days ago. I did pick up that book. I got it for $30 plus shipping. So I think I paid like $35. Obviously a little bit over ratio, but pretty happy with the purchase, as it now sells for between $90 and $100. It's a white cover, not the easiest to get in great condition. Mine isn't pretty good. Mine probably needs a pressing. I think in one corner it has a slight little bubble on it, that cheap paper that Marvel likes to use. But yeah, very few shops are going to order 25 copies of the 6th issue of a miniseries. That was the last issue of that miniseries. So it is kind of odd that they would come out with a Scotty Young variant. I mean, most of the time his variants aren't incentive. They're just typically a cover C or a cover B, maybe even a cover D, but they're never incentive covers typically. I mean, I'd say 90% of the Scotty Young covers are not incentive covers, but the ones that are, definitely keep that in your mind whenever you see a pre-order on a book, and if you see that Scotty Young is going to be one of the variant incentive covers, that might be a good one to pick up, just because there are a lot of Scotty Young fans out there, and maybe on a first issue it's not as important, but on issue 6 or 7 or later in the run, yeah, those books are going to be gold, in my opinion. They're always going to have value to them. Number 1 is Star Wars High Republic Adventures, Quest of the Jedi #1. This was a hot book last week, no doubt about it. I picked one up from Comic Mint for, I think, like $12 or $13. So I didn't pay cover price, obviously, but got it way cheaper than what it's selling for now. Consistently selling around $25 to $30. I guess there's like 4 first appearances in the issue. And it's Star Wars. I mean, don't get too excited. I don't think you're going to see any of these characters pop up in any streaming service anytime soon. But down the road, yes, that's probably a good book to pick up. Wait a few months. If you didn't get it for cheap, wait a few months. I think the price will drop back down to about $15. I don't know that it will go below that. But I think if you don't want to pay $25 or $30, I definitely think you could get it around that $15 level. So keep that one on your radar. Check once in a while on eBay, just see what the prices are. So there's your list, guys, your Hot 10 list. I got the first 4. I got the first 4 in my collection. That's it. Just the first 4. It's an interesting list. I don't always agree with Ben Stein on things, but hey, most of the time he does show relevant books that are moving in the secondary market. So appreciate him for putting this list together and for CBSI promoting that. Hope everyone's having a great week so far. Later today, I will be posting my review of new comic books coming out next Wednesday. What is next Wednesday? The 10th of May. So make sure you check that out later this afternoon. I will have that posted. I'll be doing a live stream of it as well, but of course it will be posted on my channel. Make sure you like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Justice for Comics. Also, make sure you're following me on Instagram. I post quite a bit more often on Instagram. Books that I'm getting in the mail, comic hauls, things like that. Sometimes I'll pop something on there that, some spec to take a look at. So check that out if you have time. Justice for Comics on Instagram and my YouTube channel. Hope everyone has a great rest of the day, and I'll see you soon.